Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bold Live. I've missed you all. Look at all of you there in the comment section. This is going to be fun. I hope a lot of you join us because hiatus. We're all on hiatus right now. This is a week 2 of a 3-week hiatus. Hold on one second. I've got this iPad over here. I hear myself on. Okay, probably should have muted myself over there. I've got an iPad. We're high tech here. Anyway, we've got the one and only Katherine Kelly Lang, who plays Brooke Logan, and it all happens here on Bold Live in 3, 2. Hello, everybody. Look at all of you there. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Jerry, Misty, Lynn, Kelsey, Adam, Richie. So good to see you all. You know, it's been a minute, but I thought, what better time than this week to check in with all of you. Some of you may still be on spring break or you're back from spring break, but we're on our spring break, but we're never really on spring break because we're always working. We're always on television. There's always something happening. But we thought this would be a fun time to check in with all of you, our loyal fans. Thank you for watching for all these years. And, what a week it's been, right? Lots going on in the show. And I want to dive into it and hear what you guys think about everything. And you know, have some fun. And whether you're new to the show or you've watched the show from day one, right now is a great time to be part of the show. And because, like I said, I'm on hiatus, but they're still writing shows that we're going to be shooting in a week and a half. And I've never been more excited to go back to work because this summer is going to be crazy. Bold and Beautiful. It's gonna be crazy, and I know. Some of you might think I'm hyping it too much, but no, it's gonna be crazy. I can't tell you what's gonna happen. It's gonna be heartbreaking. It's gonna be shocking. It's gonna be surprising, and it's gonna be entertaining. So, like I said, whether you've just started watching or you watched it from day one, you don't want to miss it. And somebody who has been with us from day one, worked really hard on that transition, so I had to make it work, is our guest today, our very special guest, Katherine Kelly Lang, plays Brooke Logan. And without further ado, let's welcome Kelly to the show. Hello, Kelly.
Hi.
Oh my
How are
gosh,
you guys?
my phone got so excited to see you. That was amazing.
Oh, how is everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is very exciting.
Well, thank you, Kelly. So I talked about how we're on hiatus. How are you doing? Like a much needed rest and relaxation for you.
No, Casey. I like to work. I would rather be working. I swear, I don't know what to do with myself half the time. I go to the gym like 2, 3 times a day because I have too much energy. I need to work. I would rather
I,
be at the studio shooting
I,
Bold and Beautiful.
Well, I'm sure it's just in your blood after 38 years
It
when,
is.
you know,
It's kind of like I need that. I need that
yeah,
stimulation in my life.
like without memorizing 40 pages of dialogue a day, what do you do? It's very boring.
Well, I'm definitely spending time with my family, my kids, my grandkids. My mom's going to come in town, seeing friends, getting things done that I put off for so long. So it is good to have a little break to be able to do that. I actually napped the other day because I'm not a napper, but now that my body's like realizing, oh, you have a little downtime, you can take it easy, just kind of enjoy life. So it's been relaxing.
Well, absolutely. And you don't have to get up at, 5 a.m. to get to the studio.
Right.
So that's nice. That's a
I
little
still wake
nicer.
up at
Yeah.
5:36.
Or you can stay up late, have a little fun. But
Yeah.
so a lot of people want to know before we get into the show, like a lot of people commented about sent me questions. They want to know, like, what is your secret? What is your secret
To what?
to looking like Katherine Kelly Lang? We all want to know.
That's very sweet. Thank you. I don't know if there's a secret. There's like a lot of secrets, but it's just more like a discipline, like a way of life. I live my life as I'm coughing and clearing my throat. But I live my life very healthy, with working out all the time, making sure I get the right amount of sleep, eating organic proteins and vegetables and fruits, and just trying to stay away from the sugar. And and the breads and things like that. I think working out and staying strong really, really helps as well. I do a lot of the anti-aging things like vitamin drips and red light therapy and cryotherapy and uh, different things like that. Take a ton of vitamins. And my parents were, well, my dad's passed, but he was very healthy for the time he was alive. And my mom is still living and very healthy. She's like 85. So, and she's just got so much energy. So I think I take after her a little bit and,
Or it's
just try
just
to,
it's just the soap gods have blessed you. It's a you know, being in this genre, you just get
I
some
think
sort of
Bold and the
special.
Beautiful has kept me young for sure.
Yeah,
Bold and
yeah,
Beautiful has kept me young.
absolutely. Well, this that was a question from Purna Mara. Anyway, she said, firstly, please tell Kelly that she looks gorgeous, especially without makeup. Her natural look is very refreshing to see on her Insta stories. Love that. And love that she's so fit and athletic. Her fitness is an inspiration to younger women. Okay, now
Yeah.
let's get to her question. Her question is, don't you think Brooke playing the Destiny card is really old and exhausting? And she really just gets to it right there. So we've heard a lot
I
about
know.
Destiny.
It's like, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a broken record sometimes, but but what else does Brooke have to go back to? She believes in her heart so strongly that that is her destiny, no matter what. And yes, sometimes she has blinders on, but she won't give up on that. She's kind of like a dog with a bone in that case. And she believes that Ridge is her destiny.
I'm really interested to know, when was the first time that was mentioned on the show? I don't know if any fans watching the show know, like, where did the Destiny come from?
It was early. It was
Yeah.
early on, for sure. Once Ridge and Brooke got together, it was a long for a long time. For a
So you've
long
been
time.
saying this for like close to 38 years?
Oh yeah. It's
Wow.
just
Wow.
crazy.
It's bound to work out. I know. Just keep believing.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, Pam B says, I really wish B&B would bring a new love interest for you, and they would stop this merry-go-round with you and Taylor. And she spelled Mary, Marry, like marrying. So I think that was intentional. You and your, and then part two to that is, you and your sister should start your own fashion industry competition. It's good
That
for
would
the
be fun.
soul and would liven things up. And now that's an idea. A Logan, there was a Logan Fashions before started, but
Yes.
but 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 that
Logan
was,
Sisters.
but
We
just
should
started with the
definitely do
Logan
something with the
Sisters.
Logan Sisters. It's so much fun. Like just, Jennifer and Heather and me, we have so much fun together. And I think there's really good chemistry. And we really feel like we're sisters. There's that. And we all have different styles. So it's kind of interesting coming together and having sister scenes. And people always say that when we have scenes, it reminds them of their sisters or, their family connections and everything.
That's pretty cool because I mean, you've had different versions of sisters over the years on the show, of Donna and Katie, but these sisters. I mean, I remember the other day I was asking Heather. I mean, she's been here close to like 20 years, both of them. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy
Yeah. It's been a long time.
with Jennifer and Heather, and so like it's like yeah, you are a family, you are sisters, and yeah, you've had these storylines all these years. So it's been that's a lot of fun.
What are you saying? I watched in the 90s and she was saying Destiny then. Yes. I know I've been saying Destiny forever.
I
Mm,
want to find the very first time it was mentioned. That's my goal. Like,
yeah.
if those of you can search through the old episodes on YouTube, we have all the episodes on YouTube. A couple of seasons are missing, but like you can go back to day one and watch like the first 10 seasons on YouTube. Um, this is from Larry. I love Brooke. She's my favorite character. Since Nick is returning soon, please tell Katherine if she would like to see Nick return with his son Jack. This is Brooke's baby that Taylor birthed when, yes, we all know, with her and Brooke's eggs were mistakenly switched. Yes, that whole thing. Okay, so
Right.
let's tease a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So
We
yeah,
didn't mention him for a while.
no, we haven't. But so it's big news that Jack Wagner is coming back on Bold and Beautiful. You taped some scenes with him. What was that like?
It had some scenes. We'll have some more scenes. It was fun. It was just like the good old days when he was there before, and it brought back so many memories. And we kept talking about all the scenes that we did in the past, and a lot I forgot until we started talking about them. It's funny because then I ran into Jack at the gym the other day. It appears we go to the same gym, and I had no idea. And ran into him, couldn't stop talking. We were talking for like an hour and a half, and he's in between, all his exercises. I'm like, blah, 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 just trying to catch up with the story and everything we're going to do and working together and just bringing back that kind of chemistry that we had from years ago, which will be fun to play. It also give Ridge something to worry about, hopefully. And because Brooke's always thinking about that. So,
Well, I will have to say that I've worked for the show a long time, and I remember I'm hearing I'm hearing myself somewhere. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Hold on, maybe that's somebody else. Please mute yourself on the Zoom. Sorry about that. So I remember Nick and Brooke, okay, and Nick and Brooke Ridge, whatever. I will say here, I'm a huge fan of Nick and Brooke. I think I think Nick brings something out of Brooke that Ridge doesn't. I think
yeah.
there's a fun side. There's a less you know it's just a different side, and I'm so
It was
excited
like
to
an
see where this goes.
adventurous. It was
Yeah.
always like really adventurous with him, especially because he had the boat, the ship, and everything, and then going around on that, and just his attitude. And it was more. They were definitely in sync in a different way than Brooke and Ridge are.
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
totally different dynamic, and I kind of miss that. I think it's going to be good to bring that back.
And then, of course, a lot of people are fans. They know about Jack, which is the biological son of Brooke and Nick, and we don't really talk about it, reference it. But I think it's okay to say that we will reference Jack coming up. That's a little
Okay.
teaser there.
How
But
old is
he's
he now? How old would he be now?
well in soap years.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get an idea.
In soap years, I would say he
Hmm,
would be 20.
okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, for sure. I mean, he's younger than Hope and RJ. So,
yeah,
yeah. So, in his 20s, early
okay.
20s. So we'll see. But I don't know. There's no plans to bring Jack back, but he is referenced. I can give you that tease. So,
Okay,
which would be
that's good
interesting.
to
So I don't, we know our history. We're gonna, honor it. And, so it'll be fun, but that's all I can say. So,
I know people are saying the year he was born in. It doesn't matter the year because, because of the soap years, it's a little bit different. And we age the children, the older folks don't age, but the children age to catch up to the older folks. It's kind of funny. We're the same age, right? And then the kids age like decades.
exactly, exactly. They go from 1 to 20 in maybe 10 years or less. Yeah. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure the next time we see Douglas, he'll be, 15, 16. So, um, but anyway, okay. So this next question is from Lynn. Her favorite scene. What is your favorite scene or favorite memory of working with Annika Noel? And she also, I just want you to know that you and Annika were absolutely amazing in the most recent scene you had where Hope went to slap her mom. Just OMG. That was the episode that Heather Tom directed and wrote, and which was just an outstanding episode 94, 91, if you're going to look it up online. But so that, but I have to tell you that also that took me off guard, really caught me off guard. That it was so well written, but then the performance of you and Hope, Brooke and Hope together there, it was, I miss those kind of moments in the show.
I do too. And Heather had the foresight to figure that out, like the moment that we kind of needed, because she wrote it, directed, acted in that episode. And she was great because she got us on the phone the night before, Annika and I and Heather were talking about the scene and how we wanted to play it or how and Heather was pretty much just open with, you guys have to just connect and feel like the truth of where it's coming from and go with that. And she was comfortable with us changing a few lines to make it work for how we were going to get into that moment, and it was great. It was just a good collaboration, and we made it work. And everybody, you're right. I had so many comments about that scene. I'm sure Heather did too, because she did all that. And it was exciting. It was like one of the, soap moments from many years ago. It just kind of built up in a nice way. And then there was a culmination. And the fact that it was kind of all finished off in the same scene, like going from that height of drama of, the height of that drama, and then into the, hugging and breaking down and all that stuff. It was nice moment.
And what people don't know, because they don't know this, is that those scenes were all taped at the start of the day at 9 a.m. when we rolled tape. So you come to set, you got your hair and makeup done, you learn your lines, and then boom, it was an emotional. And we shot that episode, I think, in 3 hours up until lunch. And I just remember, like coming to you and being like, "Are you okay?" Because you was just so emotionally draining. And then you had like a whole rest of the day to shoot after all that. It was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you
That
recovered
did
from
make
that.
me tired. I don't know why. Because there was a lot of leading up to that. I think we did 3 shows in that morning or something crazy. I don't know. It was a lot of shows. And there was a lot of crying. And we did the scene a lot. We did the scene over and over. So it was, I remember my eyes were so sore from crying after that. But it was good.
I know. I wish we could do a little of the behind the scenes. I think what's kind of fun is that it's been in the press. We've talked about it. We've had a documentary crew that's been following around the show for the past 4 or 5 months, and they were there that day covering that. So I'm excited whenever this documentary gets all put together that they'll get to see a little bit of what went into that episode too, which I think is I'm just really excited for that. Because his documentary, his name's Matt Wolf. He's the director of it. He's the Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens documentary that's coming out on HBO. He directed, so I'm excited to see that.
That'll be fun.
So people always want to know this question. So let's MS Warrior says, "What was your favorite storyline or scene with Susan Flannery?" So have you talked to Susan lately? Because everybody wants to know, how's Susan? Where's Susan?
I talk to Susan occasionally, and I go visit her up in Santa Barbara, and she's doing great. She's just living her life, happily retired, just enjoying herself. I think she's going to move to Australia to be there for her daughter, but yeah, and her grandbaby. So we'll see, but she's doing great. The scene, I don't know. There were so many good scenes with Susan. I could not pick one. But of course, I always love the moments where we were just going head to head, and battling it out, and where she's either choking me or holding a knife on me, or, just her nasty. She could be so mean to Brooke, it's just in the back and forth between the two. And they both really had good sides, because I never felt that she was in the wrong. She was really just protecting her family and her son, and believing what she was doing was right. And she was so protective that sometimes it was admirable, right? Even though, she was a strong character, but I appreciated her and her acting and everything.
And I feel like that's an impossible question to answer, like which is because
Yeah, I
it'd be.
can't. There's
I
just
would say
too many.
every scene that you and Susan had is the
Yeah.
best scene, because it's you think of them in your head, like probably anytime you slapped each other, or she did some kind of practical joke on you, or she just gave you that look. It's like that was the best. Or just when she
Yeah.
would see Ridge kissing you and just go to cut to her, and it was just always the best, always the
Yeah.
best. um a lot of compliments on the blouse you're wearing, by the way. I saw a comment
Oh,
just went by. They
thank
like the
you.
blouse
It
you're
looks
wearing.
very like Versace Italian. It's really Versace like.
You've been very fashionable lately, Kelly. We see on your Instagram you've been doing a lot of magazine photo shoots, and it's really exciting to see all this hard work come
It's
to life.
fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very, the glitz and glamour and doing the fashion magazines and everything that goes into it. And of course, the wardrobe. So I have to get fitted with different designers. And, there's a lot that goes into it, the planning of the photo shoot, where it's going to be, who the photographer is, who the makeup is, the hair, and just the styling, everything that goes into it. And it turns out to be like kind of this nice work of art. So that's been a fun, newer thing that I'm doing, is focusing a lot on that. And I'll be going and doing some of them fashion shows in Paris and Milan, and appearing there, and then maybe even walking in some of them. So we'll see how that goes. But then just some red carpets coming up. I'll be in Cannes doing the red carpet and different meetings with producers there. So I always like to get out and about and do different things, especially when I have time. So it's fun. It's another fun aspect of it all.
Well, something that was very fashionable and a lot of people wanted to, just are like very happy about and excited about seeing that Brooke is back wearing the showstopper at the end of the fashion show, and so many compliments about, how you rock that. And I love how that all came together because, in the creative process with Brad, you know, Brooke was always going to wear the showstopper, but in thinking about it, you've only ever worn a couture gown like one other time, and that was Portofino. You normally wear the showstopper for Brooke's bedroom.
Right. Yes, you're right.
So,
So you're
so
right. That's right. So
yeah,
that was cool for that aspect, and everybody remembered the scene. What I love is that most of our viewers have watched since day one, so everybody knows what we're referencing or what we're trying to, create with the history of the show and everything. So that was a memorable moment, wearing that in Portofino and doing that fashion show there, and then coming back around many years later and wearing the same, which was made to be the same, but it was a little bit different because some of my measurements have changed through the years, but it was beautiful, and it was kind of an iconic moment for sure.
I think we might be putting that gown, Eric's showstopper gown, in the reception area at Forrester, like replacing the
Ah,
dress there, so that they always have Brooke's
hey,
showstopper gown right there.
that
So
would be great.
that'll be fun. But that was a fun day shooting that show, and I remember also you and Rebecca Taylor being locked in the vault together, which is always fun when you put adversaries together in a room together and they can't get out. And I thought those are really nice because you really hadn't had that moment with Rebecca as Taylor yet. So what was your take on that?
Well, that felt like an old scene also from the past. We used to do a lot more of those kinds of things. So that was fun. And it put us in a situation where we had to be adversarial, to each other, which we usually are. But still, it was a good moment because I had to be out on the runway, I had to be in the gown, and I had to do that because of for Ridge, which she didn't know. And so it was just a lot riding on it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so we're this bold lives moving right along. I'm gonna go to our chat here. Moderator David. David, thank you for moderating. Everybody, he's sent me some questions here. First off, I want to give a shout out to Vu Win, who says I took the morning off just to watch this stream. So
Oh,
ooh, yeah,
wow.
that's exciting. I don't know where you're watching from, but thank you very much for that. Oh, Mark Gross. Hey, Mark, how are you? He wants to know, are you playing? So first off, we got to announce this. It's been announced. I don't know if the word's been getting out there, but the Bold and Beautiful and our sister show, Young and the Restless, are having a big fan event August 16th here in Los Angeles at the Burbank Marriott. So go online, look for information for that. And then a lot of people want to know, are you going to do the charity bus tour? And I think we just talked about it. Of course, we got to do the charity bus tour.
Yes, we're trying to figure out how we're going to squeeze it in, but I think we'll be able to do one day of the charity bus tour. So if you guys
And
are interested, I know a lot of you have asked so far, and we would love to try to make that happen.
And since it's all takes the fan events on Saturday, I think we'll do the bus tour on Sunday, just because we have to work Friday. So unfortunately, we'll be working all day. Um,
Okay. Do we work Monday then?
I don't know yet. Probably not Monday. Well, we could do it Monday, but then the people need to know so they can plan ahead. Um, let's see. Okay, these are very very interesting questions here. Rebecca wants to know from San Clemente, Kelly, do you think Brooke will ever marry again?
Uh, I don't know. I don't want her to marry quite yet. I just want her to, calm down. Why does she have to get married at this point in her life? It's not absolutely necessary. Of course, she wants to be with Ridge, but I don't see if it's that necessary to sign a piece of paper. As long as they have a nice relationship and they respect each other and love each other, I think that's good enough.
Okay.
What do you think, Casey?
Mm, I think, well, I think Bold and Beautiful just got renewed or picked up by CBS for 3 more seasons. So I think there'll be at least 10 more weddings. I think there'll be at least 10
Oh,
more weddings in those 3 years.
and
So
all Brooks
all
weddings.
Brooks weddings. So, I would get ready for that. Kelsey York says, I've been watching B&B for almost 20 years. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's pretty crazy to think that. Oh, well, the other thing I was going to say, back to the fashion show. It wasn't really written this way, but I envisioned it that this was going to be the 38th anniversary episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. So the moment before Brooke goes out on the runway, Eric is touching her up, and then you guys have this nice little romantic, not romantic, but sweet moment together. Because you have this chemistry, you and John McCook, for 38 years. Like, you're the originals of the show, and it's still there. And I just thought that was kind of a nice little moment, because I always see whenever Brooke and Eric are together, the audience loves seeing the two of you together.
We're always so happy when we see scenes with us together because it is that chemistry has been there since the beginning and since they got married, and they still have such a wonderful relationship. And to me, they're like best friends. It's almost like
Yeah.
he's Brooke's confidant, I feel, because she doesn't really talk to anybody the way she talks to Eric. And he's always there for her, like always on her side, and always, no matter what, he backs her up. So I think
Yeah.
that's really sweet.
And we've been seeing this on air that as much as Eric has, a fondness for Brooke in his heart, he wants Brooke with Ridge.
Yeah.
So that's hitting people the different some ways. Some people are saying, Eric, stay out of it. Other people are like, yeah, go Eric. So it's very
Yeah.
interesting to see this moment in time. People feel like, well, shouldn't Eric be supporting Taylor? Yeah, it's interesting. You know what? I'm just happy to see John McCook on air
Yeah. I think he
doing stuff.
supports Taylor too,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
different with Brooke.
yeah,
It's always that way. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna see what else do we got here. Judy, B&B is part of my family, and I love you all. Thank you. Um, and
Thank you.
let's see. Thank you all for all these great comments. Is there anything else, Kelly, you wanna say to everybody?
No, I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and those of you who took off work to be able to do this, or whatever. Thank you, guys. It's so good to see all your names. I'm trying to read all your comments as we're having this discussion, just because it's so great to see what everybody's saying. And thank you, Casey, for making this happen.
Yeah.
And just keep on watching, because you guys are all so awesome, and we love you so much.
Well, I know on your own Instagram you do lives from time to time. So if people want to like interact with
Wow.
you, make sure you follow
Yeah.
Kelly, and she'll do a live there. But if you want to say hi to everybody, it's tradition here, Kelly. We have to do the fan roll call. So this is where I ask
Okay.
everybody who's watching to please just type just your name, and as they go scroll through the screen, let's have you. I love watching, and it reminds me watching with my mom. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so let's see the names come through, and we'll start saying hi to everybody. Just give it a second to catch up. Okay, there's Candace.
Nico, Lynn. Angie, Stephen, Tanya, hello. Angie, Susan, oh my God, Vicky, Phyllis, Beverly, Janet, Susan,
Misty,
Melania, Gwen
Mark,
Stefans,
Susan,
Angie, Julie,
Izzy,
Julie, Issy, Melissa,
Charlene,
Tina, Judy. Oh my God, I
Sakya,
can't read this.
Tracy,
Not Rook, Eo, Crystal, Brandon, Pam, Lynn,
oh,
Julie,
Lynn. Hi,
Richie,
Lynn.
Misha, Anna,
Patrick.
Saskia, Jerry, Adam, Cynthia, Daniel. Could you imagine you have to memorize
Mona.
all
Hey,
these
Mona.
names? Richie, Maurizio,
End
Misha,
time. All
Vane.
right, boom. All
Good.
right.
You guys, all of you, thank you so much. Mwah, you're so special. And keep on watching, keep on having your opinion.